I believe we are live. Or live from the sold out, fantastic. Okay. Let me see if we're here. Some computer issues today. Computer's a little slow. Let's see. This might not work out as planned today. Give me a second. Out. Oh. Okay. Now, this is better. It should be anyway. It should be better. Let me know. Let me check the control. Well, it looks like you can hear me. It looks like you can see me. Now, all I need is for you to be there, right? So, let's check it out. It looks like we're here. It looks like we're live. And we're back. Okay. Playback interrupted again? No. All right. Okay. So let me copy paste this and I'll put it on the Facebook page at Language Galaxy. So let's take some of these pictures off. Boom. Boom. We'll leave that one on. Boom. There. Let me see if you're here. Let me know if you're here. Let me know who's here before we start. By the way, if you'd like to join me, then let me know. Sign up on Language Galaxy or let me know on the Facebook page, and I will add you to the chat. Let me see if there were some people who were interested in coming, but it doesn't look like they're showing up. Okay. Let me know. Let me know who's there before we get started. Let me know who's watching. And I want to do this. I wonder if I could do 2 live feeds. I wonder if I could do 2 live feeds. Let me test this in the English training and more. Just say hi in the chat if you're there and watching. We're going to get started. By the way, follow the link. I'm going to send the link. Follow the link. You can watch it directly on the Language Galaxy blog. This computer I'm going to need. We're going to try to go live on both platforms. I don't know if my computer can hold this, can handle this. It might go a little haywire. Let's check it out. Let's try to go live here too. There we go. We're going to try to go live here too. Just say hi. Say hi if you're watching. We're going to get started with the lesson soon. Don't you worry about that. I just want to make sure that people are here. If you're interested in coming, I want to make sure that you're, that whoever's interested in joining is free to join. And we're going to do this. Okay. And we're going to be talking about the future tense today. Anyway, as you can see in the blog, if you joined if you see the blog, and I'll post that. Join the lesson on the blog. It's right here. It's a live lesson. There it is. Follow the links before we get started. Follow the links. Follow me on Language Galaxy on Facebook. Jesse_Galaxy on Twitter. I'm in the middle of rebranding, so this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. The rebranding, the forming, the new, whatever the name is gonna be. We're in the process of changing everything. But one thing that I don't think is gonna change are the learning packages. So if you go to Language Galaxy Academy, you'll be able to sign up for some classes, group packages, all of that sort of thing, right? So we're going to see if we can do this. Okay, I'm going to end the feed on the English training and more. I just wanted to see if I could stream 2 places at once. I'm going to delete that video, actually. We're pro here, you know? No one's watching anyway right now, so that's... let me do this in an English-speaking group. And let's do it in this English-speaking group. Guys. Join me in a lesson. I know this is about as exciting as watching paint dry, isn't it? I might have to stick with Facebook. Facebook has been treating me well. On YouTube, the lessons is here. Facebook at Language Galaxy. Sign up for a lesson. Put all this information in there. This is about exciting as hell, isn't it? Nobody's still watching, so it kind of doesn't really matter. Can I pause this? This is the beauty of live. Hi, Hongjae. Oh, somebody's joining me. Well, Hongjae's joining me. Let's do feature. Feature course. Bit chaotic so far. Thank you. We're gonna try to get this better. Oh, let's see. Man, I need to do this again. Why is that my default camera? I need that to be my, and the snowball. Okay, there we go. We're gonna try to go live. There we go. Okay. So here we go live. Somebody's watching now. Gil Sandro Gomez, good morning. Where are you from? I am living in Spain. And you say it's morning. It's morning here too. Where are you listening from? I just posted in a Facebook group and I'm waiting for more people to join and watch. But let's get started. I'm from the Dominican Republic. I'm interested to learn because I love English. Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's get started then. So you're here. I'm talking to you personally then. All right, Gil. And have you checked out the lesson at Language Galaxy at the blog? This is where it is. If you want to join, let me share this with you. This is the future tense lesson. We're talking about the future tenses today, right? Yes, it is. You probably mean yes, I am, right? So check that out. Before we get started, and it looks like people are watching on Facebook now. Gil, thank you. And well, you don't have to join the blog, but think about joining my online academy. My online academy, well, it's in the description box, right? I have one-on-one classes. You can join and get emails. You can sign up for a one-on-one class or sign up for this new package deal that I'm doing, the English training and more. And with this is going to be awesome because I have this private Facebook group, English training and more. And if you sign up for the package, then you get to join the Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, I'll do daily or almost daily lessons, right? So, Amini, hi. I think I remember you from a Facebook group, don't I? Now you're starting to come in. People are starting to shuffle in. This is cool. This is cool. Right on. So check out the English training and more package deal. Join the Facebook group, and then we will do these kinds of Q&As every day. And feel free to call in on Google Hangouts and be a part of the chat. I can't put on here my Google name, but if you join on Language Galaxy, then you'll get an email with my name, and then we can have an actual class that you can interact and do the exercises together. But let's get started. So we're talking about the future. You know, in English, the future tenses are very difficult, right? Right? The future tenses are very difficult for learners, and that's what people tell me. And today we're learning about the future. We're focusing on the future perfect, but we're going to look at a bunch of different future tenses and the differences, right? So I don't need this then. If people call, then I'll put this in. If not, I don't need my earphones. So we're talking about the future, right? Let's talk about the future. And when we look at the future, it's talk with about music and Cambly. Aha. You're from Cambly. All right. Very nice. Well, welcome. I teach on Cambly too, so you can check that out. It's a good site too. But today we're talking about the future. If you go to the blog, which I'm going to share my screen right now and show you what the blog looks like. So here we have the blog. And in the beginning, well, we have the Back to the Future. That's awesome. But future tenses can be a tricky animal. There are so many different ways to talk about the future. We have going to, will. We can use the present simple, the present continuous. We can use all of these very different grammatical forms to talk about the future. And then we have the future perfect. And we'll look at the future perfect a little more in detail. This is where the video will be if you're looking at it. So first, let's look at different ways that we use the future tense. A simple rundown of the future. The future simple, that's the basic, probably what everybody is used to doing, right? I will do something, right? We will. And then the verb, practice, right? We will practice the future. We will do this. We will study. This is where the future is. This is where the future is, right? So that's how we practice the future. That's how we say the future. But we can also say going to. We are going to. And then verb, practice. We are going to practice. We will practice. We are going to practice. In the example, we have Marty will go to a football match this weekend. Marty will go to a football match. I'm going to make a phone call, right? Going to make. Basic. That's the basic future, right? Now, we can also use future continuous for an action that we're going to be doing in the future. This time next year, I will be living in a house in the country. He isn't going to be in the city very long. This is negative. Remember, when you do these tenses, right? When a common thing, let me share me again. Am I back here? A common mistake in studying, I guess I would say, is when students study the different verb tenses, they tend to just say I will study. I am going to the store. I will live abroad. I will study. So they stick with I and then the basic verb tense in a positive. When you make these examples, include different people like you, he, she, they, it, we, all of these different subjects and people. And also include negative examples, right? I'm not going to the store. I'm not going to practice. And other verb tenses. Jim won't be living in a foreign country next year, right? So practice the different forms and different people, different tenses, all sorts of different people and forms. Because think about it, if you learn one grammar point, like will, future, and you practice I, you, he, she, we, they. That's 6 different types of different forms of the verb. Then if you look at the negative, I'm not, he's not, he isn't, he won't, they won't, right? That is a thank you, Hongjae. That's a great, I hope it's soothing, and I hope it helps make the time go by. He said he's watching me, listening to my voice during work. But then you have like 10 or 12. And then if you add different, I'm not going to the store now, but later I will. Then combine them both. You see how we kind of build language together. And that's how we make short sentences into longer sentences, right? I'm not going to do my homework now. I'm not going to do, that's a future. And that's negative. I will do my homework later. Those are 2 short sentences. If you add a but, connect those sentences together. I'm not going to study now, but later I will study, right? And then we're making one big long sentence. That's a study tip that will help you a lot. So I'd like you to practice this. If you're watching this either on a Facebook group or in YouTube, I'd like you to write a sentence in the box using either will or going to, and try to make a compound sentence. Connect 2 simple sentences together and make a longer complete sentence. Do that, and let me check your examples in the comments. Nice. I see some comments in the Facebook chat. While you're writing, I'm sorry, I have to leave because I begin work at 7:30. Okay, Gil. Good luck. Have fun at work, and you'll be able to watch this stream later. So be sure you check it out, and check out Language Galaxy. The class is very interesting because you explain things so clear. Thank you very much. That's a great compliment. Check out the stream later, and check out Language Galaxy. There's a lot of cool stuff. On the Facebook chat, here's somebody said hi and good, so I can't read your name. Sorry. Let's see. Write a sentence. Amine, you're on. Write a sentence for me. Nobody's writing. Can you hear my son in there crying? Poor little guy. Okay. Nobody's writing a sentence, but let's see. You watch this video. I will. That's a great example. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but I'll watch this video when I come back home. Perfect future. And to combine them, I can't watch this video now, but I will watch it when I come back home. You see how that works all together like that? Okay. I don't know how I can turn on these comments so I can see them on Facebook. They're not coming. These comments aren't coming up. But we'll do this anyway. We'll keep going. Anybody else? Okay. So now let's look, moving on, and let me share my screen again. And if you're watching on Facebook, I can't share my screen, sorry, but I'll try to use the board. If you watch over on YouTube, you'll be able to, or the blog, you'll be able to see these. And if you're watching on YouTube, here, let's check out the blog. We have the future continuous. The future continuous. This time next year, like I said, I will be living in the country. He isn't going to be in the city very long, so be sure to make an appointment with him. He isn't going to be living, he isn't going to be in the city. That's not continuous, Jesse, but he isn't going to be living in the city. That would be continuous, right? Now, let me give you a trick, a hint with using the continuous tense, the future continuous. When you do the future continuous, remember the future continuous in two. There has to be two time references with future continuous. There doesn't have to be, but generally there is. So let's look at a timeline. That marker doesn't really work. This one probably doesn't either. I need to get a new black marker. Okay, here's a timeline, and here is now. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so if we're here, the future continuous, I am going to, or I will be, and then the verb ing, right? So I will be watching, I will be studying, I'm going to, let's turn this off maybe. So here we have, you have to have two time references, right? So let's look, I will be watching the football match at 8 o'clock, right? So we have time reference 1, 8 o'clock. What are you going to be doing? The continuous tense will be that, right? What are you going to be doing at 8 o'clock? I will be watching the football game, right? What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to be studying all weekend. Here's the weekend. Before and after the weekend, I will be studying, right? Another thing, or you can have two actions, right? I'll be listening to music while my friend is studying, or while my friend studies, right? Or while my friend, no, not while my friend will be studying. I will be playing music while my friend is studying. That doesn't make a very good friend, but you get the point, right? So, I don't know how to make these comments on the Facebook chat. There we go. We're starting. This is, you're from India. We have some Indian students, some, maybe Pakistani students. Here they come. They're starting to come in. Okay. Check me out on YouTube too. And subscribe on youtube.com/languagegalaxy. It's in the description box. But that's the future. I'd like you to write an example. I won't talk with face to face if you have Skype or Facebook. Do you mean you won't or you will? I will talk face to face or I won't talk face to face. Which one do you mean? You're on YouTube here. And let's see. Your examples. Give me some examples of I need some examples of the future continuous. Let me give you a question. What are you going to be doing on Saturday? On Saturday. Do you know what you're going to be doing on Saturday? On Saturday, I will be working, right? I will not be traveling, right? What are you going to be doing this weekend? Let me know. And while you're preparing that, let's talk about the future simple, or the present simple for the future. The present simple for the future is something we use for fixed times or fixed plans, right? Like a timetable. The present tense for the future is mostly for a timetable. So if you look in the blog, you'll see let me change the screen to the blog. You'll see the plane leaves tomorrow at 9 a.m. The plane leaves tomorrow at 9 a.m. So if you have a timetable, use the future simple, right? The plane leaves. Leaves is a present tense, but we can use it for the future because it's a timetable. It's a fixed event. That's what's going to happen. 99% chance that's what's going to happen. The plane leaves tomorrow. Be sure to get to the airport at least 2 hours early. The other example, my new class doesn't start tomorrow. It starts next Monday, right? It doesn't start tomorrow. We wouldn't say my new class won't start tomorrow. That's if we say my new class won't start tomorrow, it means that this is an exception. Tomorrow it's not going to start, right? But if we say my new class doesn't start tomorrow, that's the fixed schedule. The fixed schedule is not tomorrow. It's the fixed schedule is next Monday. It's not tomorrow. It's next Monday, right? So present simple for the future is fixed events, right? And I'd like you, if you can, write an example for these fixed events. Write an example. Write an example of this. I will leave tomorrow morning. Yes, I will leave tomorrow morning. That's a basic will example. I will be having a great time with my son at the park. Samar, very nice, beautiful. I will be having, goes back to the previous example. I'm going to watch a movie this Saturday. I'm going to watch. That's future simple, going to. So that's great. I'm going to watch. And that's better than continuous in that case. Because you're not going to watch a movie the entire weekend. It's just like a fixed event. It's a set event. I'm going to church on Sunday. Maida, good. I'm going to church. Future simple. I am small transport. Marrakesh, welcome. I don't know if that's just greeting me or you're I don't know. Keep practicing. Let's go over on YouTube. Nope. We need more comments on YouTube right now. Okay. Well, let me share. Here we go. So, let's look at then the present continuous for the future. That's also for a fixed event. My nephew is starting college next year, right? My nephew is starting college. My nephew is starting college. It's kind of like a fixed event, but it's not a timetable. It's just like more of a personal fixed event, right? My nephew is starting college next year. So let's see an example of this. I love these examples. Very nice. Thank you. On the Facebook group, thank you. These, I'm going to school tomorrow. I'm in a, yes, very nice. I am going. Simple, perfect. By the way, what kind of school? High school, university, middle school? What kind of school are you going to? I will be preparing for my master's next week. Awesome. Maeda. My mom is not coming home today. She is coming home tomorrow. Perfect. Okay, Maeda. I like it. I like the complex sentences that you put together. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. I'm in a high school. Very nice. Why aren't you in high school right now? Hasn't it started yet? Is it too early in the morning? Now, let's get into the dirty one, future perfect. The future perfect is scary because it's not very common, to be honest. And it sounds more confusing than it is. Let me try to make it simple for you. I can't do this black. Can you see this black timetable if I do it in black? Can you see that okay? Just give me a thumbs up or an okay if you can see that. Can you see that? I think I have to write in this chat to see your chats. But can you see this this timetable line? Okay. The future simple, the future perfect, it sounds a lot more complex and complicated than it is. And that's will have plus past participle, right? We have present perfect. Present perfect, I have plus past participle. Present perfect, I have plus past participle. Do you remember present perfect? Actions that happened in the past, like abstract. I have been to Japan. I have been to Japan. You don't know when I went to Japan, but I have been to Japan. I went past simple. I went in 2006, I think. 2006 or 2007. I think 2006 I went to Japan. But I have been to Japan, a past experience. Or I have lived in Spain since 2013. I have lived, right? Past actions until now. Okay. Now, that's present perfect. Future perfect is kind of the same thing. I have lived. I have been to Japan in the past, but we're just moving it into the future. So we're kind of looking from a future perspective. We're looking in the past, right? Our time reference is here. So we just add will to make it the future. Does that make sense? So, so we're here in the future perspective, but Our reference is now. So we're talking about the future. So we need a future reference. Looking at the blog, by this time next year, this is now, by this time next year, I will have moved out into the country and be living in a house with a yard. You see that combines two different grammars. I will have moved somewhere in here. I will have moved, right? Looking from this perspective, I've moved. In 2019, I have moved finally, but it's 2018. I will have moved. Does that make sense? Does that make the future perfect a little easier to handle? Right? So I will have moved. This time next year, I will have moved. Okay. Let me show you the blog just in case you can't see it. Well, I'm sure you're looking at it, M&A. I don't have to show it to you. Well, let me show it for future viewers in case they're... Okay. So by this time, I will have moved. We're looking from the past or from the future, looking into the past from the future, if that makes sense. Now, I'd like you to practice. And for you Facebook viewers, I'm going to need to tell you the examples to practice, but I'm going to want you to practice using these given words. On YouTube, you're going to need, let me stop screen sharing. Okay. On YouTube, go to the blog. On Facebook, go to the blog and check this out. But if not, let's look at these examples and practice a little bit. And try future perfect, a form of future perfect. We'll try. Jim, 2024, graduate. Write a future perfect example with Jim, 2024, and graduate. And you can use the term like by 2024, in 2024, by this time in 2024, right? And then tell me about Jim. Tell me about Jim. The red is clear. Thank you, Samar. So, by the way, while you're doing your examples, let me take this opportunity to say, I have a Facebook group that's English training and more. And in this group, I'm going to do these sorts of lessons and Q&A lessons to answer your questions. The group's called English training and more. And you can find that via Language Galaxy. But the thing is about this group, by 2024, Jim will have graduated. Good, exactly, Shara Khan. But will doesn't have an E on the end. W-I-L-L, but perfect. Jim will have graduated from university. Very nice. You had your own little touch, Maeda. Jim will be graduated by That's kind of technically correct, but it's not the future tense, Cray. Keep practicing the future tense. Or future perfect tense, really. English training and more, but you have to be a member, and I'm going to be doing these every day in this group, right? But you have to be a member of Language Galaxy, and you have to be a part of the group. I'm going to share this with you eventually after today's lesson, but there's a basic membership, advanced, and premium. To excuse me, to be a member of the group, you have to be at least an advanced member, which is only €9 a month. And then you'll have access to the Facebook group and all of my online courses in Language Galaxy, which phrasal verb courses, vocabulary, English projects, and then we can have classes to review your homework. So that would be a great opportunity for that. So sign up. I encourage you to sign up. It's a great opportunity. And I tried to make it as cheap as possible so you can afford it. Let's see. We're going to do another example here. Your examples for gym graduate. Let's do example number 2. This will be a little more difficult and a little more tricky. Let's use the red because somebody said that the red is clearer. You have to go a little more creative on this one. Next year, Apple and create. Next year, Apple and create. Give me an example with that. Sir, how way find you live others times? Mizan, I'm sorry. I don't know what that means actually. How way find you live other times? I don't know. Let's see, Maida. Jim graduated last year as a lawyer. He will have his own law office in 2024. Yeah, great. Good complex sentence, compound sentence. Very nice. Let's go over to YouTube and see. Amine, I'm waiting for your example. Dude, let's get your example in here. Let's do an example next year. Apple, create. Next year, Apple, create. People are leaving. They might be leaving as soon as the advertisement comes, but dude, you have to stick it through it, right? Okay, maybe. Well, let me write this in the comments. Next year, Apple, create. Hi. Let's see. Apple company created a new brand of OS that will be released next year. Close. The Apple company will have created a new brand of OS that will be released. Past participle, will be released, because that's the passive tense, the passive voice. Next year, next year, my apple tree will have cut in order to create small pieces of wood. I like it. I was thinking the Apple phone company, but Very nice. I like your example, but let's fix it up. My apple tree will have been cut, or I will have cut my apple tree in order to create small pieces of wood. Will have been cut, or I will have cut. Let's see. Apple is the top grossing company this year. They are creating new versions of Apple Watch. Those are good present tenses, Maida, but it's not the future tense. Apple is the top. That's a present tense. And they are creating that's present continuous. Next year, Apple will created. Sharakan, next year, Apple will have created, and then what? Apple will have created what? Will have created a new smartwatch or something like that, right? Okay. Let's go on to, let's do example number 3. And this will be the last example that we'll do for this class because time's running out. We'll say in 5 years. Robots do. And you can use this in any future tense. Get creative. In 5 years, robots do. In 5 years, robots do. And then this will be the last example. And then I might go into another group maybe, and I might go on Language Galaxy actually and continue and finish this lesson. But let's see. In 5 years, robots do. Any examples? In 5 years, robots will have done almost everything. Very nice, Mayada. Sharakan, in 5 years, the robots will have done everything. Okay, a lot of hopeful people for robots. Very nice. Okay, so this will be it for now. For YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, and by the way, this is YouTube after the fact. Actually, I'll stay on YouTube. For the English speaking group, join me over on Language Galaxy, and I will finish this class over there. And I put all the links up there. And in the chat, if you're still not, if you still don't know, now you know. There we are. I'll see you over in Language Galaxy. And if you're watching on YouTube, I want to see your examples still. I want to see your examples because in these, at the end, I'm going to have a big project for you to work on. Okay, here we go. Start a live video. We're accessing our camera, microphone, future perfect project. This is a continuation of the lesson. Join me at English Training and More. Mm, and follow and subscribe. And I guess I should send a link to the blog. Facebook or YouTube. In 5 years, wrote a sentence, an example. In 5 years, robots working with humans do technology. That not exactly. We want the future perfect. So in 5 years, I'm going to write the correct sentence. Robots will, or the future continuous, be working with humans to do more to make more technology. Is that what you mean? Check that out, Amine. I like that you're being active. Very nice. Thank you for that. Subscribe. Blog. Boom. There we go. Okay, we're going live. We're going to see. Okay, so this is on Facebook now. This is a continuation from a private group chat that I had, and we're going to be here and talk about the final project. We're going to do a couple more examples and then a final project. Okay. M&A. Yeah. Is that what you meant? Good. You can practice doing a sentence with this other example, right? Here we go. If you're on the blog, you see it. By next week and learn. By next week and learn. Write an example there. By learn. The future perfect tense by next week. What will you have learned next week? By next week. What will you have learned by next week? Let me see on Amine. Eminem, maybe. Here we go. So we're waiting for people to come over and shuffle on over from the private group message. This will be a lot easier once we get to the once we're all together in the English Training and More, right? So let's check this out. We're waiting for people to show up and come in. And let's see your example, Emily. Just call me Amin. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for that. Abdirahim, Sharakan, you welcome to the YouTube chat too. Welcome to the YouTube class. Amin, thank you for correcting me. By next week, I will have learned yoga. I think you meant yoga with an O, Y-O-G-A. You will have learned yoga. Well, maybe you will have started to learn yoga. Maybe you won't have learned all of yoga yet. But maybe you will. Who knows? Okay. Anything else? Any other examples? Sorry, guys. I see a lot of requests on Facebook. I'm not taking requests. I'm not taking friend requests from people I don't know. I started to do that, and and it just didn't work out for me. There's a lot of personal, private information and then friends. So I can't accept friend requests, but I did make a Jesse Teacher account, and I'm going to work on that. I have to figure out what, the logistics of what I want to work through. But thank you and welcome. Let me see your examples. By next week, learned. Let me see your examples. And by next week, I'm in. You wrote, by next week, I will have learned I new car. Learned I new car? Maybe I will have bought a new car? Maybe. Or I will have learned how to. I will have learned how to drive a new car. That might be one, right? So, Mr. Shower Khan, you can write another example too. And I'm going to write the final example up here on the board. And if you're in the blog, you see it. By the end of this lesson, practice. Write an example with that. Bye. By the end of this lesson, practice. What sentence can you come up with for that? By next week, I will have, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe what? I will have learned how to drive. Yeah, maybe. You may have learned, you may do that next week, by next week. Let me see your examples for this one. And let's see. Any examples? No examples for this one. There's a little lag in the YouTube feed, so I need to kind of wait to see if so much going on right now. No examples here. Well, that's okay. I want to give you your final assignment. Okay. There it comes in. By the end of this lesson, I will have practiced the future in YouTube with a good teacher. Oh, Mr. Shower Khan or Miss Shower Khan. Thank you. That's very kind of you. So let me give you your final lesson. If you're on the blog, then check it out. If you're not on the blog, then let me let me see. Let me share my screen. So here's your final practice. It's the year 2028. That's 10 years from now. I'd like you to think about what the world and what your life will look like in the year 2028. Use the different versions and the different forms of the future that we looked at today, right? We want to use future perfect, future simple, future continuous, whatever is necessary. Okay, first outline your ideas, and that's what you see here, the world and your life. Possible topics for the world. What will technology look like? What will medicine and healthcare, robots, political and social policy, space exploration, etc. Your life, maybe where you have a family, your friends, your school or job. Where will you be living? Will you be successful? What's your lifestyle going to look like? And all of these, what are you going to look like? This is your assignment. Let me put this in the chat just in case for the people on who can't see it. If you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, this is the assignment, right? So that's what I want you to think about. And that's the assignment that I want you to do, right? Think about the world and think about your life. We see here my example. If you're on YouTube, then you can see this. My example, the year 2028, I will be 10 year, the year 2028 will be 10 years from now. And since technology is advancing so rapidly, I see it continuing to do so. Okay. Technology might advance a bit too quickly for us to handle. Scientists will have created fully functioning robots and taken them to the next level. I believe some people will fall in love with robots, and this is going to have great consequences on society, and governments won't know how to make policies for this sort of thing. How about that? Do you agree with that? Okay. But you see here, I have the different future tenses. I have future simple, future perfect, future simple, negative future simple, right? So there's a nice mix in here. TV will be completely different than what we see now. It will continue to be moving. There's an advanced grammar form. More and more to an online platform like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, with a link to my YouTube channel, WWE Network, UFC Fight Pass, and so on. This is why I'm working mostly online. As far as medicine, I believe people will be wearing chips under their skin for their identity and even to cure some diseases. Some people won't like this idea, the future, negative, but they will choose to not, and they will choose to not participate in this activity, much like vaccinations today. Do you vaccinate your kids and yourself? I'm not sure how this is going to affect society. I guess we will just have to wait and find out. As for my life, I will have gotten into something new and tried new challenges. I love challenges. I will have expanded Language Galaxy Academy, and I will be working on my new project. Either way, I'm sure I will be working for myself. My daughter will be 12 years old by then, and my son will have just turned 10. Will have just turned. You see this because the turning is a time in the past, right? So they will have just turned, which I don't know, which I know I won't be able to believe. I don't know which country my family and I will be living in, but I'm sure we will be together and happy most of the time. Okay, so that's what we're going to, that's your assignment, by the way. That's your assignment, and you see down here, there's a space for you to write. You can't really write online, right? Mr. Shahrukh, sorry. Yes, of course, Mr. Shahrukh. So this is a place for you to write, and I'd like to hear your stories. let me know on Language Galaxy. Let me know in email, and get corrected on your work. So one final time, let me plug all my things. So the English Training and More group, feel free to join that. You'll need to join a Language Galaxy membership. So either an advanced membership, or a premium membership, or a gold membership, and get discounted prices on one-on-one classes. You're always welcome to do that. And just for today, well, today and tomorrow, I guess I'll extend it. You could sign up for a basic membership, which is only €4 a month. A basic membership, and I'll accept you into the English Training and More group. And in this Facebook group, we'll be doing more of these kinds of lessons every day. The more people join and the more attention I get from this and the more interest, the more often I'll do these. So join me there. Join me on youtube.com/Language Galaxy. If you're watching on YouTube, you know this. And let's build this. Let's build this community together, because it is helping people, and I'm happy to help. And, like my things, like my pages, share them when you can. And thanks for watching. This is it. Thank you for this. I look forward to hearing your examples. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.